is Valley News Live at 4.
New for you at 4, U.S. officials admit Afghanistan fell much quicker than they anticipated. Now President Biden is addressing the situation as the U.S. scrambles to evacuate American civilians and Afghan allies. Natalie Brand has details from the White House.
President Biden returned to the White House from Camp David Monday, speaking publicly for the first time since the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan.
This did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated. So what's happened? Afghanistan political leaders gave up and fled the country. The Afghan military collapsed.
The U.S. has already deployed 2,500 troops to help evacuation efforts, and that number could go as high as 6,000. The Pentagon says at least 2 people were shot when thousands of Afghan civilians rushed the airport trying to escape the country. A spokesman says up to 5,000 people per day can be evacuated.
We have actually been working to evacuate thousands and thousands of Americans over time. Now it's about determining who is left and who didn't heed those warnings along the way.
A spokesperson for the U.S. general in charge of evacuation says he met face-to-face with Taliban officials, warning them not to interfere with the evacuation efforts.
We will defend our people with devastating force if necessary.
President Biden says he is standing firm on his decision to pull the U.S. out of Afghanistan.
After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces.
But there is bipartisan concern the withdrawal could create a new terrorist safe haven.
There is increased danger of attack on this country.
We need to have a very serious look now at how we're going to, in fact, conduct counterterrorism operations around the world.
The president has ordered national security officials to make sure the U.S. can address future threats from Afghanistan.
A Pentagon spokesman says Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin believes a reassessment of the terrorist threat is warranted. Also, new for you at 4, a Fargo man will spend the next 9 years behind bars after pleading guilty to killing an 18-year-old in Moorhead. 26-year-old Larry Evans was sentenced this morning in district court in Fargo for the death of Cameron Camacho. Evans punched the teen several times in the head during an argument over marijuana prices in August 2020. Camacho died in the hospital the next day. Evans was originally charged with murder and terrorizing, but the murder charge was downgraded as part of a plea deal. Multiple law enforcement agencies are still on the hunt for 2 suspects in a Cass County cornfield. Sheriff Jesse Johnner says the perimeter has been set up all day off of I-29 near Argusville. A call came in around 8 o'clock this morning about a suspected burglary in the area. The sheriff's office brought in a West Fargo K-9, used drones, a North Dakota State Patrol plane to search the cornfield. The sheriff says they haven't been able to find anyone yet, but that search will continue into tonight. We'll have much more on this ongoing investigation tonight on Valley News Live at 5 and 6. Now here's Hutch with a first look at your forecast. Hutch.
Stacy, thanks so much, and happy Monday, everyone, as we have hot weather once again, and we do have some smoke starting to return to the area as well. Right now in Fargo, our visibility pretty good. In fact, you don't smell the smoke out there. You certainly feel the heat, though. Take a look at these temperatures across the region. Here in the valley, 90s, low 90s at that. But off to the west, we have triple-digit heat in Bismarck, in Minot, and Dickinson, where it is 103 degrees right now. Here is a look at that smoke on visible satellite imagery. You can see that milky white color there. It's returning. And this smoke, by the way, is from fires really raging out on the west coast. So because we have a system bringing some upper-level winds from that area, it's starting to work its way in. And behind this little system that's working its way through here that you see along the clouds, behind it, it's mixing down to the ground. So visibility is reduced out west. If you're traveling out there, it is heading our way. We'll have more on that in your forecast in a minute. But right now, temperatures in those low 90s continue, and eventually we sneak down into the 80s. The wind southerly, it's been very gusty once again today. Stacy, I anticipate the winds to die down a little bit once we get past sunset. We'll talk how long the heat lasts. We'll talk about our next chance of rain. We'll talk about smoke. And I guess that'll be about all here in just a few minutes.
Lots to talk about. Thanks, Hutch. Thousands of people in Moorhead without power this afternoon. Moorhead Public Service reported a widespread outage that affected more than 17,000 customers just after the noon hour. The cause of the outage was a failure on a transmission line. Crews were able to restore power by about 1 this afternoon. Authorities in Becker County want your help finding a missing man. David Jones was last seen this past Tuesday. He's described as about 6'1", 215 pounds. Take a look at his picture there on your screen. The sheriff's office says he was last seen driving this black 2006 GMC Sierra Denali pickup, license plate number 755PGK. If you have any information on where he could be, call police. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is sending soldiers to the northwestern part of the state to fight wildfires. The governor signed an executive order late last night saying the fires are ravaging parts of Beltrami, Lake of the Woods and Roseau counties, as well as threatening life and property near War Road. Governor Walz says abnormally high temperatures and a historic drought this summer are fueling the fires. The Guard will help the Minnesota DNR, State Emergency Operations, and the U.S. Forest Service. The Game and Fish Department is warning hunters about our incredibly dry weather. As we head into more popular hunting seasons, they're asking people to be extra careful. Hunters are encouraged to carry a small fire extinguisher and shovel and extra water in case a small fire starts. If you smoke, make sure cigarettes are put out properly. Grand Forks police say the investigation is active and ongoing regarding the case of a toddler that fell from a third-story apartment window. That child is in critical condition. It happened around 8:30 Saturday night in the 200 block of 1st Avenue North in Grand Forks. This afternoon, the police department said as of right now, the investigation is not criminal. They say they'll keep us updated on whether any charges will be filed and how that child is doing. Fargo police are warning the community about a high-risk sex offender now living on the north side of the city. Ian Oska is living in the 1300 block of 8th Avenue North. That's just a few blocks from the Jeff Johnson Soccer Complex. He was convicted of gross sexual imposition in 2006. His victim was a girl under the age of 15. A traffic heads up for the downtown Fargo area. 1st Avenue North is closed between Robert Street and Broadway starting today. Underground utility work is being done for the City Alley reconstruction project. That closure is expected to be in place for up to 5 days. If you're looking to get involved in the community, Valley Senior Services is looking for volunteers to deliver meals to area seniors. Help is needed in September to deliver Meals on Wheels to the West Fargo High Rise and Broadway Station locations. Valley Senior Services delivers hot meals daily to more than 1,400 people in 6 North Dakota counties. They say it's a simple and rewarding way to help people 60 and older who are not able to prepare meals for themselves. Individuals, groups, organizations, and businesses can help year-round. It only takes about an hour to do a delivery. If you'd like to volunteer, call 701-293-1440 or visit valleySeniorServices.org. Supporters of the Sunshine Kids Foundation are out in full force at the Rose Creek Golf Course today. It's the 14th annual charity golf tournament. The Sunshine Kids Foundation raises money for kids with cancer so they can go on week-long, all-expense-paid trips with other kids from around the U.S. Today's money raised helped children right here in the FM area. Jordan tells us it was the trip of a lifetime, and she says she still stays in touch with the other cancer survivors she met.
When going to New York City, I got to see so many things that I've never seen before. Actually, New York City was my first time ever on a plane, so the Sunshine Kids gave me that. And going to Florida, I got to go on huge rides and got to see Disney World, which I've never seen before either.
If you'd like to support the Sunshine Kids Foundation, you can mail a check to the address there on your screen or get in touch by sending them an email. If you didn't make it out to Trollwood this year, you can catch the main stage musical virtually tonight and tomorrow. Streaming passes for Cinderella are available through Trollwood's online box office. Tickets are $40, and that allows for as many people to watch as ticket holders can fit around their screen. The virtual performances were planned after some shows were canceled earlier this month due to weather and air quality concerns. The show goes on tonight and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Still ahead, after a powerful earthquake, the death toll in Haiti is growing. The search for survivors continues as a tropical depression now approaches.
But next in weather, we have some smoke starting to show up out to the west. Temperatures today sizzle once again with 90-degree heat. Your hour-by-hour forecast is coming up next.